What's going on, world? DS1 Ross. And I'm back. Sleep TV. Sleep Live. Shout out to everybody. Got a great interview tonight. One of my day one brothers. Um, my brother Daywon Mgtow Anderson. And tonight we're gonna have a nice discussion about why every man should be aware of Mgtow philosophy. Like I said, this is one of my day one brothers. And my brother has a platform. He represents the Mgtow community. Um, y'all definitely should go support my brother. He's a good brother. Um, I'm gonna definitely put the link to his channel in the description. So, after the show, I'll be taking questions from the chat. If y'all got any questions for my brother, y'all could put all y'all questions in the chat. I'll be taking the questions, after my brother finished building. But that's my guest for tonight. So y'all listen up to my brother while he drop his science. So this is my brother, like I said, Daywon, represent Mgtow. So I'm gonna let my brother go from here. What's up, bro?
Good, bro. It is, man. It's a pleasure to be here and everything. Hooking up, collabing with you one more time again. First off, I want to say congratulations too, bro. Word right here. Thanks for building a platform to where we can have a big, listening, big listening fan base, man. You know, for creating that.
Kind of breaking up, bro. You can speak up a little more, cause you kind of low too.
You can hear me now.
Much better, much better.
All right. Yeah, man. So pretty much, yeah. Today we're gonna talk about Mgtow philosophy and everything that up on. And I just want to say that I'm a believer in saying that all men please hear what Mgtow philosophy is about. It's not about women bashing. Surely women could benefit from it too. And I've said that in where I've said things where women could benefit if they're in relationships with the man don't even have to necessarily be a Mgtow. He don't even have to identify with that. Just um helping them understand a man's nature. But yeah, the first thing I want to jump straight into Ross.
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. You just breaking up a little bit, but you good.
All right, then pardon. Or you know what? Let me see something. Let me see something. I'm gonna fix that up right now. I'm gonna throw the Wi-Fi on. I'm gonna see what happened with the Wi-Fi. First. You can hear me?
Yeah, yeah, much clearer.
All right, cool. So, yeah, but first thing I want to say is that yeah, man, we not about bashing women. You know, me personally, I'm just speaking from personal experiences that I have. I mean, I've been in a lot of relationships in my lifetime. I always felt like I jumped into the relationship without having direction. So with me not having any direction, I kind of just sort of drifted off into a female's manipulation scheme and things like that. I'm not a victim. I don't want to say I'm a victim because nobody held a gun to my head and made me do anything. just that I see that manipulation is real. It's real, and it's a part of female nature. So I had to understand it. I had to understand that. Like growing up, I didn't really understand why a lot of men weren't in relationships with their child mothers. I witnessed that a lot growing up in the neighborhood, in the community, period. Even on television, I see that a lot of men they're just not with the child mother. Even if they communicate and got a good friendship with them, they're not with the child mother. And as I got older, I kind of felt like, most of the women who aren't with their child fathers, they chose for that to happen, meaning they chose to be single mothers. That's how I feel. This is something that Mgtow philosophy touches on. Yo, you can hear me, bro?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
All right,
Try to stay as close as to the mic as possible so your voice could stay amplified. But we can hear you.
all right, definitely. Um, yeah, man, and a lot of the times they have children with men who are irresponsible. I don't want to say immature, but irresponsible. Whereas they never had um, any plans for being a dad. Half the time, they never had a father figure around them. They may have had a male figure, but they didn't have a father figure. So, and we can learn a lot about nature if we look at animals. When we look at animals and we see how they react to certain situations and certain environments, we could kind of make a thesis on human nature and how we would react in certain environments. Like, um, for instance, if how can I say that? You know what? I ain't even going to touch on that yet. I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna get back to that. But it's just irresponsible. Let me stick to that. When they have children with men who are irresponsible at that moment, they just didn't have no plan to take care of children. And I feel like a lot of women know that. They know the man was irresponsible, and they still chose to have a child by the man. How you feel about that, Roy?
Um, I would have to say, to a certain extent, I can agree with that to a certain extent because I believe that sometimes, you know, women they tend to ignore certain signs with a man, especially if they really want to be with the guy, and that could be on any level. A woman might want to have sex with a dude so bad that she may she may look past the fact that he might not be that, clean hygienically.
True.
She just look at his clothes and how he look and all of that, and you know, so I can agree with that to a certain extent, yeah. But I don't think that a lot of women want to be single mothers. I don't think most women want to be single mothers, but I do believe that a lot of women do pick certain types of men to procreate with.
Yeah. Now let me say. Nah, I ain't say want to be single mother. I was saying choose to be. Like let me explain. In a sense of no relationship is perfect. I'm gonna look at it from that perspective that no relationship is perfect, and they may want to be with the child father, but when it comes to benefits, they may choose to be single so they can get the benefits. They may have wanted to stay with the child father, but because the benefits and like signing up for the system and taking him child support, things of that nature, I say like this is why a lot of them choose to be single mothers only for the benefits. But
Okay.
they, but they don't necessarily. All right, let's say like women who live in shelters, They can't have a male staying in the shelter with them, and they know that. So they may have to, you know, cause something to happen to where the man can't stay with her no more, and now she can go stay in the shelter, and that may not, be what she want to do, but she got to look out for. She may feel like that's better. That's better for her and her children. That's a better means of survival for her than relying on the child father.
I got you.
That's just one one little angle of Mgtow philosophy. But that's just what it teaches. And that's what I was trying to say with female nature. That's what I was trying to say. Like they're like women are designed, it's in their nature. It's in their nature to look out for their offspring. Not the father of the offspring. A lot of them you know, they're designed to look after their children first. So,
Okay.
and that's just in their nature. Now, all women may not do that. You have some women out here who may put the man first, but it's in her nature to do it for the child, to do it for the child. You know? And I'm a firm believer of I accept female nature. I accept female nature, and that's the reason why I consider myself to be single, because I find it impossible to love somebody and understand them at the same time. Whereas I just feel like women have done some messed up things to me in relationships, to me. But now that I'm older and I understand female nature, it's like, oh, okay, I understand that. But with me knowing that, it'd be hard for me to love another female because I know the possibilities here. Even down to me, even to me, I see what type of individual I am. And it's like, you know what? If you do this, I'm gonna get it somewhere else type mentality. You only live once. And another thing is the attention thing. And it's like attention is the cause for a lot of breakups. It's not even Facebook, social media. To me, it's not even it's deeper than social media. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. You know, any of these social networks, I just feel like it's the pursuit for attention, which you know Mgtow philosophy touches on too. You know, and it tells you to be careful, be careful, because you could get shamed. You could get shamed. There are tactics out there to where a man could be shamed into not focusing on his dreams anymore because he has to focus on the woman because of her emotions. So because of how she feels and her emotions, he can't tend to his dreams. But see, emotions is temporary, and that's for men and women. We may fit, that's human nature. So emotions is temporary and emotions change. But opportunity don't wait for nobody. And that's another thing Mgtow philosophy touches on. Relationships, it's hard to be a man and benefit in a relationship in today's world. It's hard because women have changed. Society set it up that way. Yo,
I'm here, bro. I'm listening.
that I nah, because it keep getting quiet sometimes. So that's why.
Now that's because I'm going on mute because sometimes with the hangout, if we both while you talking, if I'm not muted, it'll pick up background. So I don't want it to hear fuzzy to the audience. So that's why I be muting myself.
Got you. Yeah, so that's another thing Mgtow philosophy touches on. It's you gotta. I mean, you gotta be the driving force in a relationship. It's just like that. Just like that. The strongest person in the relationship should be the driving force in the relationship. That's what Mgtow philosophy teaches to me. That's what I got from it, you know. And I just feel like if your relationship is based on paying somebody attention whenever they want it, you know, it makes you drift off, and you lose focus. And too many of them want attention. Too many, too many. Um, and manipulation, man. Manipulation is rampant. Manipulation is rampant, and that's another component to you know, divorce, um, just broken homes, a lot of things, or manipulation, simple manipulation type. Like number one, the greatest manipulation, for instance, men, men, men will do things to have sex to get a nut, whereas women would do things sexually to get pregnant. And it's like if you was honest with most men and told them that, you know, you're only having sex hoping to get pregnant, a lot of men wouldn't even do it. If a man do it, then he should be liable for the responsibility. He should be held accountable. He should be held accountable. Huh? But I just believe that a lot of men, they fall victim to that because they thinking, you know, it's no strings attached, or there's no emotions or whatever. Come to find out, this person don't want to be with you. They just want to have a child. Then, then you got cheating. Whereas most men, they get caught cheating, and if they get and when they get caught, they sad. They not on defense. Most men, they sad. They shameful. Most of the time when women get caught, damn near 98% of the time, when they get caught, it's like it's still the man's fault. To me, that's just how I feel. Word of mother. Even for looking at television, it's like, oh, but you wasn't giving me no attention. You didn't pay me no mind. You didn't compliment me. And he doesn't pay. He don't compliment me. So you know, it's crazy, man. It's like, nah, you gotta be held accountable for that. And Mgtow philosophy touches up on that, man. Touches up on a lot of things men wouldn't have paid attention to, like little small things, little small things, just nature. Uh-uh.
So do you feel like, because you know, MGTOW stands for men going their own way. Do you feel like how do you relate that to being in a relationship? Like being that you're a MGTOW, how could you be, you know, do you think you will ever be again in a functional relationship, you know, being that you have the MGTOW mindset? Do you think it'll work with with a certain type of female
Mm-hmm.
or
True indeed, true indeed. They call them no. Not all women are like that, and that's true. Not all women are like that. Not all, but the ones that I've dealt with, I could have stayed in a relationship, but it was certain things they did that I couldn't tolerate. Now, when I was younger, I couldn't put my finger on it, but as I got older and I started listening to Mgtow philosophy, it helped me better be able to express what I couldn't tolerate in the relationship. You know, and when I wanted to speak about it, that's when I saw the real person who I was in a relationship
oh, okay, okay.
with. And it teaches you MGTOW philosophy, but it also teaches you about this thing with attention versus approval too. Whereas try to balance out how much attention you give to the next sex. base that on how much approval the the opposite sex gives you. So it's like men want approval, women want attention. So like that. So if this woman is not giving you approval and your desires, then it teaches you you shouldn't give her desire. You shouldn't give her her desire, which is attention. But it's a lot of wasting time going on. There's a lot of women out here wasting men's time. A lot of them just off the rip, they feel like you're supposed to spend money because they're in your presence. You know, that type of mindset to where like men gotta feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. I gotta offer something because I'm not good enough. I'm a man. Where's this ideology coming from? I mean, just look around. Not all men doing it, but I mean, most. Just by looking around. You know, you got men out here who take money from out of their kids' mouths just to give it to another. Sometimes end up giving that to a whole nother dude who don't take care of their kids. It's crazy.
So can you break down the manipulation part? Because I think based on hearing a lot of the Mgtow stories,
Yeah,
and the guys that joined the Mgtow movement,
yeah,
a lot of them was taken advantage of. They were taken for granted in relationships and things like that. So kind of go into more of the manipulation aspect.
yeah. Well, basically, it's like shaming you. All right, for instance, men don't make a decision when it comes to having children. Ultimately, women make the decision. Now, y'all both had to lay down together to make a child, but I say when it comes to deciding who's having a child, the father gonna want the child, but if the mother says she's not giving birth, then automatically by default the father, he doesn't have a child. So that's what I mean by women decide. But when a man is not thinking, he's not thinking, and when he's not thinking logically, let me say, when he's operating off of emotions as well, and he's operating off of her emotions, little does he know, because it's that it's that energy, it's that energy being exchanged. So he's operating off of her emotions. So you know, like for instance, marriage. A man that's not even ready to get married gets pressured into getting married, and then if that don't work, then he gets shamed. Like you get names called, and accused of things, and you the bad guy now. And you can have a valid reason for not wanting to be married. You can have a busy, hectic work schedule, you know, or you may feel like you don't want to. You feel like something's not right here in the relationship, but you just can't put your finger on it at the moment. It's a lot of things, and it's just shaming. It's shaming type. Like should be like for instance, back into the cheating. A man get caught cheating, he's sad, he can't say anything. But a female could get caught cheating, and her own homegirls would comfort her and tell her it's not her fault. Oh, it's not your fault, because if he would have been here, you wouldn't have. That's what I mean. It's like you don't have to be held accountable. It's his fault. What
I
else?
got you.
It's even like I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I don't need a man. Okay, all right. But then you know what? I don't want to come off as sexist, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it anyway. And I don't mean no disrespect, but I never seen. I'm not saying it's not possible, but my whole time walking this earth at the age of 32, I never seen an all female construction site nowhere. I never walked past somewhere and just saw a whole bunch of women building shit. Never seen it. Not saying it can't happen, but a lot of things I see women doing as a career is sexually driven. Not all, but when it comes to creativity and things like that, a lot of things is sexually driven. Another manipulation tactic, and And this is every day, bro. Makeup, makeup, weave, wigs, nails, eyeliner. Why put all of that stuff on? All right, that's like me. That's like me going somewhere. That's like me going to my homeboy crib and wearing all his clothes, driving his car, living in my other man crib because he away on vacation, and I'm acting like it's mine. And I'm just out here, pretending. These my clothes, this my car, this my jewelry, this my house, and I'm really lying. This is my people stuff. But I'm out here manipulating people, got them thinking I'm really living that type of lifestyle. A man that gets shamed for that. But a woman could walk around looking like something that she don't look like. You don't really look like that. The makeup, the wig, the eyeliner, and you don't really look like
Maybe do you think that a lot of women do that because a lot of men don't like natural hair?
that. I don't I mean, I think they do it to compete with each other. Me personally.
Mm,
But
mm.
to answer your question, it's that may be possible. I never looked at it from that perspective. But I looked at it from a perspective as just watching them from behavior, like down to the pocketbooks, to where I know women who've got about 20 to 30 pocketbooks in their room. And it's like, what do you have that many pocketbooks for? It's like, did a man ever compliment you on a pocketbook? Sometimes I hear, yeah. But I'm a man, so I mean, to this day, I never seen a man walk up to anybody and say, "Oh, hey, that's a nice pocketbook. Let me get your number." It's competition. It's
It's
competition.
true.
Competing with the women, competing
That's
with us,
true.
and it's like it's a waste of money. And if the man if the man come in and say, "Now listen, you done spent $10,000 in the past 3 years on pocketbooks for attention, $10,000 on pocketbooks, attention." Same thing with dues and approval, running around risking their freedom, swiping cards and everything to get a rental that people know ain't yours, and then you end up in prison somewhere. All of that because you wanted approval from women. It teaches you to focus on yourself. It teaches you to use sexual transmutation. Actually, Mgtow philosophy even to teach you shouldn't even have sex. A lot of times, if you want to be creative, you shouldn't even have sex. Teaches you like you become superhuman with certain senses you have. Become more creative and everything.
That's
It,
true.
it teaches that. It teaches not to watch pornography. A lot of things. A lot of things. Teach you where it Mgtow philosophy even goes into how porn porn can fuck your mind. Pardon my language. Porn can mess your mind. Living alone. Living alone. I don't really hear too many men complain about living alone, especially if they want to be successful. I don't really hear too much complaining about that because men can still get sex and be single. Men can still have sex and be single, and that's
That's
what
a
philosophy teaches too. You don't have to be in a relationship. That's for women. Women can't sleep around like that because society deems it unacceptable. Not saying it's not being done. I'm just saying it's sophisticated. It's hidden.
that's a good point. As far as us as men remain abstinent, especially if we're not in a relationship, because it's true. When you don't um release like that, your mind is more driven and focused on your purpose.
Exactly.
When you always when you always in that state of releasing, sometimes you can get caught up in just wanting to release all the time. And that caters to bad decision making. When if you remain abstinent and you just be focused on what you need to focus on, you wouldn't make those simple mistakes. So that's true. That make a lot of sense.
And we can learn this from animals too. You don't see animals go around having sex every day. Like they do it in increments at certain times. Certain times. Like other times this animal has to be an animal. Like a dog has to be a dog. You're not just gonna see a dog just trying to have sex every hour. No, the dog's gonna be a dog. He's gonna run, he's gonna bark, he's gonna want to chase like a ball or something like that. You know, and when men stop, men, are supposed to be men. But when we start dumbing down and, like you say, ejaculate that much, yeah, that's not what we programmed to do. What we shouldn't be programmed to do. But when you watch porn, it hypnotizes you to feeling entitled to that type of pleasure, I guess. Um, another thing about Mgtow though, Mgtow and pimping ain't really too far from each other neither. And now this goes back into what I was saying before, that women can benefit from being aware of Mgtow philosophy too, because pimping and Mgtow have a lot of things in common. To where um even pimps knew, I don't want you for that. So what else you gonna bring to the table now? Because I don't want that. And if you don't, and if you can't offer nothing, then you need to sit down and listen, and let me teach you how it's done. Basically, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. A pimp, you know, teach them just like that. And the MGTOW comes in and say, listen, besides, your sexual organ, anything else, I can get myself. Now, unless you could convince me that you could bring that you can make me a better person in another way, then I would jump in a relationship. I would marry. But other than that, it's too risky. It's too risky. Like you got men out here who did everything, bro. Graduated, did the right thing, and then one little argument got them into a divorce, and now they have nothing. And argument caused that to happen. And this nigga, this person could have went to school for a long time. Could have been in business a long time. Mary J. Blige, for instance, she got to turn around and give her husband all of that money. Marriage. That's what happened. That's what happened. See, emotions, just because you're in love, but emotions is temporary. Temporary. Now, if you could tolerate the person, you could tolerate them, then it's possible you can fall in love with them. Once you start understanding later on how a person really is, you can fall out of love with them, and then that's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. So MGTOW is just here to show the younger people, show the younger ones, look, man, it's another alternative. You can go your own way. You could be your own driving force in your relationship. You know, because if it was really about equality, and on the first date, I'll pay for my half of the food, and she'll be paying for her half of the food. If it was really about equality, if it was really about equality, it'd be okay for you know, how can I say, for men to say, oh, I don't want to be a dad, and then there's no accountability, just like for a mother. When a mother have a baby, and if she don't want it, she can leave it on the hospital step. She can leave it on the hospital step and put it up for adoption. Now she don't have no financial obligation whatsoever, and neither does the dad. But it's up to the mother. Mother say I'm leaving this baby here. Now the dad don't have no financial obligation. She say I'm keeping it, then he does. So that's all I'm saying. And a man can't pour nothing from an empty cup. So you put a man on the system and can't make money, it could just destroy their whole financial situation.
So does Mgtow um teach on tolerance, or is tolerance something that Mgtow go against?
So, now, basically, um, when I say tolerance, I mean like for me personally, it's certain things I wouldn't tolerate in a relationship, but other men may tolerate that. Me personally, I don't tolerate it. It's things that other men will go crazy for that I may not even care about in a relationship. So, but it's just that's what I mean. It's like whatever you could tolerate in a relationship. Because sometimes a person could do something and you can still be with that person. But then sometimes people do things and it's like, yo, I love you, but I can't tolerate that. I can't, nah, you can't come back from that. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much for you to set your own, your own rules and everything. And Mgtow also teaches that, women can have rules too. They can have all the rules they want, but at the end of the day, you got to have somebody there to follow those. You don't got nobody there to follow those.
I got you.
It teaches as a young man when you like 18, 16, 20, you know, they teach you that society teaches you you're in your prime, young, have fun. And you can't because really you're not even in your prime. When you hit the age 30, 40, that's when you start really getting, like if you take good care of yourself, then you will see like, the girls you couldn't get then, you can get them now that you're older. A lot of things change. And it teaches Mgtow philosophy teaches that too. Say, when you're in high school, you may not have all the girls now. But by the time when you about to graduate college, and they up in the bars and the clubs and all of that, while you was at, home studying, doing what you got to do, now they gonna want you. They just teach you how to operate, teach you how to, not fall victim. Because like I said, a lot of women feel like, soon as they come in your presence, you got to spend money.
Right.
But
I
I
got
mean,
you.
at the end of the day, that's female nature. And you could accept it, or I don't have a problem with it. I accept it. I accept it. But yeah, I just feel like a woman gotta earn. Like a woman can't tell me, oh, you should marry me, or I should have been married, or why you ain't married me yet. That's a question they should be asking themselves. All these other women are getting married. What am I doing wrong? That's just what it is. And men have a decision when it comes to being married. But like I said, if you're not on top of your game, you could get shamed. You could get shamed. Like, even the parent, they'll wait till you come around and then bring up a conversation. Oh, such and such about to get married. Her dress looks so nice. Oh, I wish I could wear this dress. Shame, 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 shame tactic. But you'll never marry me. Like, stuff like that. Meanwhile, she don't cook, she don't clean, she lazy, she wanna be married. So it's like who's really the smart one in the relationship?
Right.
It's just to put them on a certain. If I would have known then what I knew now, it would have went a whole different way. It's to a point now where I don't like. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I don't pay them no mind. I don't pay them no mind. At the end of the day, I know I'm a nice dude. I'm a nice dude. So I don't want to be out here like some men. Some men are bitter. It's men out here who bitter, who really genuinely hate women. I love women. Women can please me sexually. That's why I love women. I love women for other reasons too, but that's the main reason. But there's some dudes out here that hate women.
That's true. That's true. And that's interesting that you saying that because you know a lot of people have that misconception about Mgtow. They think that most dudes who deal with this philosophy hate women, or it's like it's a female bashing, you know, cult or whatever. I've heard a lot of things that women said about the Mgtow community. So it's interesting that you're sitting up here and you're saying that you love women. You
Yeah,
don't hate women. You're not against women. But what I get what you're saying is that Mgtow has helped you basically give you a blueprint on what you should be focused on as a man,
exactly.
and stop thinking that being a man is just catering to a woman.
Exactly.
That's what I get from what you're saying. Um, you got anything else that you want to touch on, or you want me to take some questions from the chat? Because I see a few questions
All right,
in the
cool.
chat.
One more thing I wanted to touch on. I touched on it a little earlier, but I had jumped back off because I was trying to stay on the topic that was in front of me at that moment. But back to the cheating thing. I want to touch back on the cheating. Now, most men cheat for a nut. I'm just trying to sum it up in layman terms. Most men cheat just for that. Not because he really liked her, not because he had feelings and things like that. It's just he wanted to get that. Most women, I'm saying cheating. Most men cheat just to get a nut. Most women cheat. Most women cheat because revenge, bro. Revenge. Not to get a nut, for revenge. Or if it wasn't for revenge, they cheat for money, bro. For some bread, like straight prostitutes, aka prostitution. Cheat in a relationship for revenge or for money. Or it could be for attention or pregnancy. But see, I should only need one reason. When I need more than one reason, something's up here. Now, when I rely back, like when I go back to men, it's rare a man cheated on his girl for revenge. Like it's too emotional. It's rare a dude cheated on his girl because he wanted a baby with this chick. It's rare, bro. He cheated on his girl because he wanted this girl to show him attention. Or he cheated on his girl because he wanted this girl to pay him to do it. He wanted this girl to pay him to have sex with her. Like it's just it's simple. He did it because he just wanted a nut. So when you look at cheating from a perspective like that, it's like, whoa. And this is what I mean by manipulation, bro. This is what I mean. So men shouldn't be that shameful, bro. You shouldn't be that sad. You should have some dignity still. Because you did it just for that. Something that simple. This person did it with an emotional attachment attached to it. Meaning that this person thought about doing this already. Whereas you probably was just you was drinking, hanging with your boys, and was in the right place at the right time. But that's not her situation. She met this dude and been talking to him on email, Facebook, text messages, whatever, for over a whole year. Over a whole year. And this is
Mm.
normal. This is normal behavior from from today's female. Normal behavior, bro. Normal behavior. Taking selfies. Taking selfies with your tongue out your mouth. Selfies with your tongue out your mouth with fake hair, makeup, eyeliner, and all of that. Hey, come on, bro. Camera dead on top of her with her tongue out her mouth. But then to tell you she ain't that's prostitute. That look like new age prostitution to me. That is what prostitutes wear. They do wear makeup, fake weave, and all of that, and you know. So it's just not saying that women are a prostitute. I'm just saying the opportunity is there. The privilege is there. It can happen at the drop of a hat. So MGTOWs are aware. They aware of that. And when you gotta look out for stuff like that. This is what I mean by what type of benefits do a relationship bring? So a female has to be on her A game. She has to be the real her. She has to work on herself. She has to be ambitious too. So men don't have to hear things like, oh, you didn't have time for me. You wasn't there when I needed you. No, not knowing I wanted to come home. I had to do overtime. I had to work hard because I forgot. I wanted to buy you something, but I got to buy myself something too. You know, I
Good
had to
point.
spend extra hours. I had to clock out. See, you don't know I clocked out and then had to continue to work because I got to get this done. I'm ambitious and I want to get this done and get on to the next one. But if my girl ain't as ambitious as I am, chances is I'm going to start taking on her emotions too. Whereas I won't be ambitious anymore. I was even having that issue with the alliance, bro. Since the alliance days, I was having issues like that. And I was glad, like Mgtow was really helping me see what it really was. And a lot of stuff, I was like, yo, I can't believe I was really, I was simping. I ain't gonna lie. I was on some real simp. But I'm done though, bro. If it's questions, we could get it. My fault if I was
All
talking
right.
too long.
Nah. This your show, bro. Whenever you finish speaking, like I said, we was gonna take questions, but you said you done. So let me see if there's any
I
questions.
was going, oh, yeah. All right, yeah, I was ready for the question. All
Um, First of all, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out for everybody coming through and supporting my brother.
right.
Um, John Doe said, I wonder why they call it cheating. Like, is it called cheating because one person is getting more sex than the other person?
Oh no, it's no, not necessarily because cheating doesn't necessarily have to mean sex. Cheating can mean, all right, let me say this. Deleting text messages is cheating. Cheating is when you do something and then you go hide after. That's cheating. Cheating is when you do something that you don't want nobody to know. Like, no, I'm gonna keep it at relationships. Cheating is when you do something that your mate wouldn't approve of and may not want to remain in a relationship because of it. That's cheating. Talking to a man, texting him, and then deleting your text messages because you know if your man see that you've been texting this guy, he may make this an open relationship now, or he may just leave the relationship. That's cheating. Cheating is thinking about cheating. That's even cheating. Just thinking about sleeping with somebody else and you in a relationship already. Just thinking it is cheating.
Mm.
Just like if a man is sitting there and the girl she thinking about sleeping with his homeboy, but he don't know and he keep bringing her around. If he found that out, it don't matter if she slept with him or not. Just the whole point she thought you thought that. I can't deal with you. I mean, not even that. I love you, but I can't tolerate that. I can't tolerate you trying to look for the perfect opportunity to sleep with somebody I'm cool with, or rather somebody I'm at war with.
Right.
You know, that's what I consider cheap. But it's just my perspective. It don't mean John Doe perspective is wrong. You know,
Right.
it's just that that's just my perspective of it. You know, I'm sure there's other perspectives that make just as much sense as mine. But that's just from my experience up till today.
Right. He asked again, would Mgtow advocate or promote vasectomies?
They do. They do. I hear a lot of you know what? To me, the whole vasectomy thing for me, I um I'm fluent in the medical field. I've been in the medical field for some years now. And one thing I learned is that vasectomies can be reversed. That's the only thing I ever learned. Now, I've heard theories where a man can't get a vasectomy unless he had 3 children. A man couldn't get a vasectomy unless he was married. See, those type of things, I'm not um I don't have the rights to speak on that because I really don't know. So I'll be wrong if I made, any statements on that because I really don't know. But what I do know is from being in the medical field, a man can have a vasectomy and then he can have it taken away. So, and on the other side, I'm gonna try to answer your question again. Yeah, I've heard that in the Mgtow world. I've heard those theories in the Mgtow world. So yes, Mgtow philosophy does advocate for vasectomy. It's just that I don't know the requirements. And I'm not, like I said, I don't have enough knowledge to even speak on it. I never researched.
Okay. Um, John Doe with another question. He been asking a lot of questions. That's my guy though. Shout out to you, John Doe. He says, how long does how long do you see Mgtow being a thing? Like meaning, how long do you think this Mgtow thing will be hot?
Oh,
Like, do you think it's a phase or do you think it's
it's
gonna live on forever?
yeah. Truthfully, I can see it going on for another 100 years. Basically, what I'm trying to do is like I see MGTOW is pretty much it's not a collective thing. It's a collective purpose, but it's not a collective thing. Meaning, like MGTOWs move as individuals, whereas you may have MGTOWs who are dating men and don't even date women, but consider themselves MGTOWs. And these could be the men that hate women with a passion. So, the outside world will hear a MGTOW not knowing he's a homosexual. And it'd be like, oh, they hate women. They hate women. Or you may have homosexuals who don't even speak on women. But they have their own way of, how they're dealing with things. They have their own way, whereas they may not even do relationships. It's just any man, period. It could be a woman, any man, period. Any man, period. It just teaches you how to be an individual and go about it your own way. Because it seems like as men, we are under attack. We are under attack in the name of equality. And it can't be equality because you have men who are being treated unjustly. And if you don't have justice, you can't have equality because it's the same thing. You can't have one without the other. You know? You want to treat people equally, then that's justice.
Right.
Because I can't find a definition for justice. But just from being here, I would consider justice being, fair treatment, not, just being fair. What's good for one is good for everyone. Um, but yeah, that's pretty
No
much it.
doubt. Let me see if there's any more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my brother Nehemiah, shout out to you, brother. Um, he asked, Um, does Mgtow subscribe to a spiritual philosophy?
Um, once again, once again, like when it comes to Mgtow, it's going to be a lot of different perspectives. So when you want to touch, so when you talk about spirituality, spirituality comes with enough opinions already, you know. So um, let me say this: you could be a Christian and get along with an atheist Mgtow only because y'all there for the same purpose.
Mhm.
So you know, and that may be the only activity, human activity, that you may see those two come together for the same common cause. A atheist, a Christian, a Muslim, and a Jew, who all came together and said, yo, I feel like as men, we under attack. We're being treated unjustly.
Good point.
And
Good point.
it's also like women could join too. And on my perspective, I just feel like that. Women could join too because I've heard women who say, yo, I agree with Mgtow, and I see why men are turning Mgtows because I have friends and they will break down how female nature. I'm not even gonna say they friends. They just break down female nature, and it's like they understand why some men are taking those precautions. You know, and a lot of times it's because a lot of these women have older children. See the 20-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, we the ones who are experiencing this new child support, unjust system. With a lot of unjustly things going on right now. So MGTOW's doing this part by, trying to handle the whole sexual activity thing to where, you just have sex responsibly. You don't want to lose your whole life earnings because of a nut. And that was I mean, I don't know if I answered his question though.
No, I think you did, bro.
Uh,
I think you did. I think you did. Cause it sounds like, most people who listen to Mgtow, they think that, you know, these are a group of men that all feel the same and think the same to the same degree.
yeah,
So you broke it down. You broke it down pretty good. Brother Nehemiah, did he answer your question in its entirety? Just let me know. And John Doe, he asked one more question. He said, like, would it be considered, he's talking about MGTOW, like, would it be considered a tactic to force women back into submission to men, or is it an organic form of sterilization?
um, see, I would have to ask him, what does he mean by organic sterilization? Because to me, um, I'm thinking of other terms. Like I'm not thinking submission because in my perspective, it's looked upon as cooperation. Whereas you don't have to submit. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. This is what's on the table. Take it or leave it. So that's what I mean by cooperation. If I need help with this, and if you saying you're gonna come and this is what you're gonna bring to the table, then cool. But I need you to continue to do that. And that's what I mean. Now, if the person reneges on doing that, then now you're not cooperating, and it's like there's really no need for you. So it's pretty much just cooperation. Submission is like, to me, my perspective. It may not be yours, but to come to someone and get them no choice. Like this is what you're going to do. It's like, nah, that's not. This is basically this is what I want, and I need somebody that's going to come along and cooperate with me. You know?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So it's just like MGTOWs may feel like, listen, I'm not getting married. I'm not even doing relationships. Now, I'll show you attention. I shower you with gifts. I take you out with me on, I don't do dates. But if I go somewhere, I'll bring you with me. I don't do dates, but if I go somewhere, I bring you with me. Whatever I do, I'm going to be doing it out the kindness of my heart. I'm not going to be doing it because I want what's in between your legs. Because if I was doing this to get what's in between your legs, I don't think I'll be going, all out my way just to get that. 12 seconds of pleasure. I'm not talking about sex, the whole physical point. I mean, the whole physical thing with like just working, putting in the energy and effort. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the end result. The last 10 seconds of, the nut.
Right.
Because that's where the pleasure is in it.
Carly Ellison asked, are you worried about being alone when you get old?
Not at all. I mean, I cannot be alone. And that's the benefit of me being a man. And this is what Mgtow philosophy teaches. As you get older, you become more of a prized possession. See, as a young man, you won't understand that. But as you get older, you start to see, you start to respect the fact, you start to see, like, wow, I'm a man. And, it's more women are going to gravitate to you more now than ever in your life. So if you was that dude, oh man, that was a phone call. But if you was that dude back in high school, chances is when you get in college, you still gonna be that dude. You still gonna have women flocking to you and everything. And as you get older, more women, more women, more women. Basically, you're gonna look better than what you did when you was young. It's opposite for women. They say usually when a woman hit 40, they hit the wall. That's their looks aren't even there. Whereas for a man, his looks start to kick in.
Mm.
His masculine traits, let me say. Whereas you look more manly as you get older. Body language, your nature, your mindset, the way you think, your willpower, everything changes. And you start to see like,
That's interesting, bro.
on yourself. It teaches you to put, because the television is going to teach you opposite. Everything, like, society wants to teach you opposite. But Mgtow has a downside to it too. And this is what I wanted to touch on. I believe Mgtow was created for the gender war. I don't know if all the listeners here is aware of the Willie Lynch letter, but you know it's a part of, you got the feminists, and then you got the Mgtows. In 100 years from now, it could be a physical war. I will hope not. I will hope not. And this is why we all need to come together and just see it's just different perspectives. Nobody's wrong, nobody's right. It's just different perspectives. But if not, like, if we don't come together, it's going to be war. Somebody's going to get annihilated. You got men out here right now who wake up every day and create sexual robots. You got men out here right now trying to create ways where a man can have a baby with a machine or a robot so they can make women obsolete. This is really happening. See, this is things men won't even know because they're not in the Mgtow world. But a lot of men who are successful and create things, these men are Mgtows. They're Mgtows.
Wow.
And Mgtows aim to be gentlemen. Like, we don't even deal with that alpha male. That's not even, it's more like a gentleman. Mgtows, we want to be gentlemen. You want to be the nice. I don't want to say nice guy, so I'm gonna say gentleman.
Right. It's not about aggression.
Exactly. And that's, well, aggression kicks in when you get the red pill rage. Basically, you have men who go through their whole life and find out about Mgtow later on in life when it's too late. And then that's when red pill rage kicks in, where they're angry and it's like, oh, I hate women.
Mm.
That happens. That'll start happening. And it's like, they walk around and they bash and this, that, and the third. but that's that person. They know that that's against Mgtow, but to them it's like whatever. And it's like it's all right because Mgtow philosophy already touches on it, and it's called red pill rage. And eventually, that's how you're gonna be. But guess what? You won't get any. Won't get none, none, none. Chances is you're gonna be in the dirt. It teaches that, and then blue pill kicks in. Now you humbles you out, like the Matrix.
Right.
And that's what it is. So for MGTOWs, it teaches you, look, this is female nature. And once you learn female nature, it's hard to love them. And vice versa. I'm sure it's the same for them. You know, it's hard to love somebody and understand them at the same time. This is why when people are in love, they accuse people of cheating and things like that. And like, listen, man. The chances is, you know, I'm not saying everybody cheat. Everybody don't cheat. Everybody don't cheat. And I
Um,
noticed that as you get older. I noticed that as you get older. Because me, I was a big time. But now, and once again, Mgtow philosophy played a part.
right. Um, I see we still got a few more questions.
So,
Uh, Brother Nehemiah again, he asked, so MGTOWs politically centric? Like, are y'all into politics?
yeah, big time. A lot of Mgtows are in politics, to my understanding, and they the ones that dictate policy, and they on it. They just, it takes time because they have to make money in politics, whatever they sitting down talking about, and it refers to Mgtow, and they looking for a way how to make money off of it. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna be no such thing as child support very soon. It's coming. It won't be no child support. Or taking them into court and just cleaning them up in the courtrooms and things like that. A lot of that stuff is gonna stop soon. But this is what I'm saying. Why it's just promoting. It's promoting the war. It's promoting the war, and it's sad to say. Sad to say, but 100 years from now, I could see men and women going to war with each
Damn.
other. Like you see how we have a spiritual war going on. I could see a gender war happen, where men, women, transgender, like it's so many denominations. Same way you got gangs out here. That's what it's going to be like.
Mm,
It's going to be a whole bunch of denominations because politics, like we was talking about, they sitting back now. This is what I believe, but they sitting back now and they looking at ways on. Listen, this is how we can make money off this whole idea, and still, distract the people and separate them at the same time, cause confusion, cause
wow.
fear, fear, and but this is 100 years from now. But I'm just saying, this is what's going on. This is what's going on, and this is why I say once again, I have to learn about people. It's good. It's good to be aware about Mgtow philosophy because now you will see things different. But you're going to see men and women arguing, and both of them is going to be right. It's just that it's going to be different perspectives, but both of them are going to be right. Both of them are going to be right.
Right. So, before we close out and shit, I want you to touch on a little bit more about the Nawalts.
The war. Oh yeah. Well, pretty much not all women are like that. You have some women out here who they just have different backgrounds growing up, whereas um women and on the other side of the globe are taught to put men on a pedestal. So when your grandmother was taught to put men on a pedestal, and then your mother was taught to put men on a pedestal, and now you're an adult, Let's just say you move to America. Chances is, let's just say you started dating American men. You're already programmed to put men on a pedestal. Now, let me I don't necessarily mean like saying a person is better than you. Basically, what I'm saying is that over here in this part of the world, society teaches to use men as a tool. You know, pick them for whatever you could get out of them. Whereas over there on the other side of the world, they teach you, whoever your man is, he represents you. He's a part of you. Whereas the man that come home and you got the woman pulling out the chair for him to sit. I done seen it on the trains here in New York City, where the woman would get up so the grandfather or the father could sit there, or the little son could sit there. The daughter and the aunt, sister, mother, whoever, they had to get up. Now I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying on this side of the world, I would see why people say, "Oh, that's messed up." I could see why people was looking at them like that on the train. Why Americans was looking at them foreigners like that on the train when they stood up and they let the grandfather and the little boy sit down while the women stood up. But they never been to that side of the globe. They probably don't even know about that side of the globe. And that's how they operate over there on that side of the globe. So they only got one perspective. I see it from both. And to me, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. Same way I wouldn't have saw nothing wrong with that if the men got up and then let the women sit down after, or vice versa. That's true equality.
Right. So what you saying is a Nawal is a woman that is not the typical woman that most MGTOWs speak about.
A Nawalt is somebody like all right. To me, in my to my knowledge, I would say a woman is a Nawalt is a woman who she knows female nature, but she has discipline.
Okay.
So whereas she may be a strong-minded woman, but she values your opinion more.
Mm,
The woman who should put herself first, but instead she put others first.
okay.
This is the woman that most women would tell their man to help them with. This is the woman who would say, "Nah, I got it. I got it. I'm good."
Got you. Got you.
And it's like because they understand from a different perspective. Like I know I'm gonna do this on my own. I'm strong because when you look at Mother Nature, when you look at Mother Nature, Mother Nature, the strongest survive. The strongest is going to survive, and them strong women never die alone. Really, the women who grind, work hard, they don't die alone. When I say grind, when I say work hard, I mean even that working hard to disciplining yourself against female nature. You're having more money than your man at the time, so you say things you shouldn't say. Listen to ideas from women who don't even have a boyfriend. Tell you things like, "Why you deal with him? I wouldn't even deal with a dude like him." Those type of things. The walks, you can't talk to no walks about that.
Mm,
Can't talk to no water about that because in the water just laugh it off. She'll hear you going one ear and out the other. She won't even tell her man what you said. But see, them other women, female nature, when she get mad, she'll say, yeah, my even people even say, "Why I'm dealing with you anyway?"
right.
Who put that thought in your head? Where that come from? You don't mean to tell me all this time we done been together, you done had 3 children by me, and now all over a sudden, how you get with me?
Real spill, bro. Real spill.
Like because I was the protector, because I chose to be a protector, instead of a provider. I couldn't be the provider at that moment. I felt I needed to be the protector. So you was allowed to work while I sat back and protect the children. Because I felt that at the moment it'd be best if I be the protector and you be the provider, which we both provide. But it's just that you can provide more than what I can, just like I could protect more than what you can, because I feel this is what's right at the moment. Now we could switch, and then I become the provider and you become the protector or whatever. That's it. It just teaches you to go by your own mindset, your own rules. It just give you a guideline, and then you make your own rules.
Right. So being that we just touched on that,
Mm-hmm.
the bro Black Worlds, he asked, how can we change our situation as being black men and black women?
Pretty much, stay away from each other and focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Common interests will bring us together. Constructive behavior will bring us together. Productive behavior will bring us together. Meaning, if I need to be around women, maybe I need to go to the library. Maybe I need to go enroll in college. Maybe I need to go do something productive, and then I can meet a woman that's doing the same thing productive. So when I go to focus on me, she going to go focus on her. Then we could come to the table. Or this is what I learned today. Oh yeah, well I learned this. You know, and it's like y'all building, and y'all becoming stronger and creating this. And now when y'all create children, y'all children are going to be 10 times fortunate. It'll be easier on them. See, Mother Nature look out for those type of relationships. Mother Nature looks out, and reason why I know that is because I can see it again. We're animals. We're animals. The weak get murdered. No remorse. Mother Nature don't care. No remorse. But the strong that stay together and do what they gotta do, like a bull. We can look at it like a bull. When a bull try to do anything else but be a bull, chances is it wanders off and get eaten by lions. Because it was trying to be something that it wasn't. It's trying to be something that it wasn't. So and this, I'm just saying that because that's what I touched on earlier when I say I just try to look at animals, and I look at animal nature, and I equated that with female nature. I mean, with human nature. And I started looking at female nature, male nature. Yeah, that's what I started looking at, and I look at it like a little science. You know, you see the routines, the same routines, the same patterns. So, yeah, that's pretty. So if you're gonna be a Mgtow, you gotta be a Mgtow 100%. Um, if it's no dipping and dabbing, because it could bring confusion. You don't want confusion. That's the whole point of being a Mgtow, because you want clarity. You want to be clear on what's going on. You're gonna be a
Right.
Mgtow, you go all the way. Not saying you can't be a Mgtow and be in a relationship. You can do that. You got Mgtows that's married right now. People that became Mgtows after marriage because the situation is getting dire. But you can do it. It just teaches you how to be aware. Only issue is red pill rage. But that's the solution, man. That's just the solution. Get a different perspective. Be aware of Mgtow philosophy, and then you'll have a different perspective, and that's the solution right there. And then you decide from there. You know what life is like without Mgtow philosophy, and now you know what life is like with Mgtow philosophy. So from that point, you just you go with whatever makes you feel better. You may want to get in a relationship and never get married. Or you may not want to do relationships. You may say to yourself, listen, I'm not doing relationships no more. If I get with somebody, we get married right then and there, and it's over. Before you do
Right.
all of that, men must understand, because a lot of time relationships happen because of women. Women tell the men to, get in a relationship. Some women feel like after sex, it's automatically a relationship. So that's pretty much it. It's just to show, man, there's no real benefit in relationships. The only benefit is for women when it comes to relationships. So you need to tell that woman, be honest, be yourself, and don't come here wasting my time. Because if you do, I'm gonna catch on. I'm gonna catch on, and you know, you're gonna be an experiment. Yep.
No doubt, bro. So I feel like we took enough questions and stuff. I feel like you broke down, the Mgtow philosophy. I'm pretty sure, because I've been, watching the chat and people been commenting a lot. I think this is a real good topic, and you could come back and let me know whenever you ready want to come back and touch on some specific things dealing with Mgtow, as far as just compartmentalizing the whole idea, because I see how broad it can be. And I
Yeah.
see how, the Mgtow philosophy, it changes what people agree with and what they don't agree with. It's not like a cult. Like most people, when they speak on Mgtow, they look at it as a men cult who hate women and they all think the same. But
Right.
tonight you pretty much lace my boots, bro. Like I'm real clear on, this is it's an individual thing.
Right.
It's a group of individuals that just share the same perspective, but not to the same degree. You
Exactly.
have some people who are extreme with it, and then you have some people who aren't.
Exactly.
So I'm pretty sure people gonna request you back, to touch on some things. So I definitely be keeping contact with you, bro, on this
Anytime.
whole thing.
I appreciate
So shout out to everybody in the chat again, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe to this brother channel. The link is in the description to to his channel. Y'all hit that link and subscribe to my brother. Keep in contact. He got new videos that he just put up, I think maybe 2 days ago. And also you could just go in the search box, type in Daywon Anderson. Is in the title. That's how you spell it. Go subscribe and stay in tune with the brother, because I think he's real savvy with this Mgtow thing. I don't think he's just you know some old battered guy who just mad at women. That's not what it is, y'all. So y'all definitely could get that out y'all minds, because it's not really about that. You know what I'm saying? So you want to say anything on the closeout, bro?
Oh, yeah. Well said, man. One thing I could say, the questions, man. The questions. That was real good. It was real deep. And like it even made me have to really think. So I definitely wanna thank the viewers for that. Because it actually made me think outside the box as well. That was real mind provoking questions. I like that. Also, I want to thank Sheep Stay Sleep as always. Um, and that I wish this platform the best, man. I want to keep connecting with you and doing what we got to do to bring some solutions to all these problems out here that we facing in today's world. So by any means, I appreciate it, man. It's an honor, definitely, definitely.
No doubt, bro. It's always DS1, man, and
Exactly,
that's what it's always gonna be.
one,
Determined successful ones. That's what it's about.
exactly.
So everybody know me. I'm the host, DS1 Ross. I represent Sheepstaysleeptv. You know, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Don't forget, make sure y'all go subscribe to my brother channel, Daywon Anderson. Like I said, the link to his channel was in the description. If not, if you can't get to it from there, just go in the search box, type in Daywon Anderson. Make sure y'all subscribe, stay in tune with him. Hit that bell to get all his notifications. And before I close out, brother Nehemiah, big bro, that show that I did earlier with Melanin Sutek, she just came up with that title because I wanted to address her recent rant that she had on Facebook going in on black men. So, you know, she just titled it that, you know. She just titled it that.
Wow.
It wasn't so much of her hating black men. You know, that's the flack that she got back from her rant. You know, a lot of black men were saying that she hate black men.
Yeah,
So, you know, I just came on there and you know, I wanted her to clarify some things and just have a conversation with her because like I told her, you know, when me and her conversed, I didn't get anything from her like that. So when she went off like that, I was like, wow, I was stunned, you know?
I was wondering, um, the thing she was saying when I came there, I was saying, all right, what does this have to do with hating black men? A lot
Yeah,
of I could have come late, but you held it down. You held it down, and you made valid points. You made valid points. You made points to where it kind of made me even understand where she was coming from. Like, oh, okay, because I was kind of just one sided. But then I had
right.
to really see because she had so much emotion in what she was saying, so I had to really kind of see, like, okay. But then it went into the homosexual. It was like, okay, I'm not fit for this audience right now. Like, you know, okay, this ain't. And you try to tell her that, like, listen, keep that over there. You discuss that with the men that do that. We
Right.
not qualified to speak on that because we're not into that stuff. But
Exactly.
it's like we was being demonized just for being men. Well, you guys are men, so it's alleged that you could be, homosexuals too because you're men.
And not only men, but black men.
Exactly. And I understand where she coming from because what's going on in today's world. But that's a whole nother that has nothing to do with hating black men. And
Exactly.
number two, like I said, it's like we accused of being gay just because, like you said, we black men. So, and it's just
Hmm.
it's it's sad, man. It's sad to be using the
And then when
platform.
we got into the conversation, we saw that
Mhm.
she went off like that because a guy that she was with, she found out when they broke up that he had sexual relations with a transsexual. That's what came out of it. So that's where her anger stems from and her ranting about that because she was with a dude for a few years. And then when they broke up a few years later, she found out he was having sex with men. So that's
And,
where her anger came from, you
and you
know?
and you see, I picked up on that from what she was saying. I felt that, or I felt the person she's still with, she's suspecting that he's that. But I also I also feel like we may even need to talk on that one day.
Definitely.
But it's a touchy subject. It's touchy. That's why I didn't really want to say too much because it's touchy. And some people take it out of context to me. Like when I was listening, it got too detailed, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to hear this. This ain't what I want to. And then I see the few comments, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get out of here. I see where this is going. I'm out of here.
Yeah, it got kind of ugly, bro. It did. It did. It did. But
you
yeah,
know,
that's what that was about, big bro Nehemiah. That's what it was about, man. He laughing. But that's what it was about, man. So once again, shout out to my brother. Like I said, make sure y'all go subscribe, hit that like, hit that bell too, so y'all can get all his notifications. Go check out his videos, leave y'all feedback. He'll answer back to y'all. And
definitely.
like I said, thanks for tuning in, everybody. You know, it's late now. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna start cooking y'all Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna let y'all go do y'all thing. You know, I'm your host DS1 Ross, and of course I represent DS1 Alliance. And you just tuned in to Sheep Stay Sleep TV, where we advise all the sheeps to stay sleep. And remember, like I always say, we gotta heal before we build. Peace, y'all.